Hey everyone, welcome to episode 9 of my Zelda-like tutorial. Today we will be making keys and locked doors. I'm doing some rebranding on this series, so I'm changing it from Zelda to Zelda-like, and the sprites that were taken directly from Zelda are in the process of being replaced. The new player sprites were made by Andrew of RetroDragon.com. He's also helping me replace other textures that were in previous videos. So huge thanks to him, and I'll put a link to the sprites and his website in the description. As for the new sprites of this video, there is a key sprite which we'll put in the pickups folder. Looks like this. A HUD number sprite, which looks like this, and a locked door sprite right here. The locked door sprite was made by Kyle Steven Schaff, who made a Game Boy Zelda inspired asset pack and is letting me use some snippets of it for these videos. There'll be a link to the full pack in the description, so big thanks to him too. So the first thing we have to do is create a new scene for our key. The root node's going to be an area 2D named key, and we're going to save it in the pickups folder. And child node sprite, and that will be the key PNG. And then we need a collision shape. So that'll have a rectangle, and the extents will be 3 and 6. Hide that, and lock this. So let's add a new script. All the script is going to do is check if the player walks over it and add to a keys variable and delete itself when the player does. So in the ready function, we're going to connect body entered to ourself with a function named body entered. And then there, we're going to check if the body's name is player, and if the player has fewer keys than 9. And if this is we're capping the keys at 9 because that's how much that our HUD will be able to show. You could set it to whatever you want if you're doing something different. Body keys plus equals 1, and then Q free. And now let's go into, let's save this. Go into the player script and give it a new variable called keys and set it to 0. And in our physics process, we are just going to have keys equals min keys and 9. This just sets the keys variable to the smaller of the two values. So if the key is 10, it'll be set to 9. And yeah, so key's done, but we'll test it in a second. Now we want to show how many keys we have here on the HUD. So add a new sprite. Let's rename this one to background and the new one to keys, and set that to our number texture here. So this is just going to be our counter. You could wait, let's set the animation H frames to 10. You could use a label and a custom font for this, but I'm just going to use a sprites, and what we're going to do is we're going to set the frame of the sprite to however many keys are, or the key variable in the player. So frame 0 shows the number 0, 1 is 1, 2 is 2, blah blah blah. So let's add a script to HUD, and this is just going to have a process function. All this is going to do is we're going to set keys frame to get node player keys. So that's just going to go up the scene tree 1, find player, and then set the frame to it, the keys variable that we just made. So now if we go to our test scene and we add a key to it, run the game, identifier not found, keys. Oh, keys. My bad. Sorry about that. Now if we run it and we walk over this key, it'll be set to 1. And let's just duplicate this 7 times, so this should make it 7 keys. Yep, they're all in the same spot. And if we just do 10, it should only go up to 9. Yep, and the last key is left behind. Cool, so let's undo all those. Now we need to make a locked door that will open if the player collides with it and if he has a key. So new scene. The root is going to be a static body, and I just call it key door. Save that into the tiles folder. We need a sprite first, and that will just be that key door. Collision shape 2D will be a rectangle. The accents for X will be 8 and Y is 16, so it covers the whole thing. Let's lock the sprite into place. And now we need an area 2D, which will check if the player's colliding, and it'll delete everything once if the player has at least 1 key. So this will be a rectangle shape. We want this to be a little smaller so the player won't be able to get it from the side, and a little longer so they could get it from the front or back. So lock this, hide this, and save. Let's add a new script to the key door. So this is going to look pretty much the same as the key script. Area connect, body entered to self in a function called body entered, and there, body entered body. If the body's name is player and body get keys is greater than 0, body keys minus equals 1 and Q free. So let's create a little place for this, and we'll have key door, turn on pixel snap right there. Let's also create another one, and we can rotate this 90 degrees. Put it right there. One thing to note, at least in this version of Godot, if you change the rotation, pixel snap stops working. So you have to round it up manually. But let's do that, and let's put like a key here. So if we run it, we can pick up this key, walk up to the door, it'll open, and if we walk up to this door, that'll also open. Cool. So that's it for this video. If you're not already in the Discord server, please check that out. It's the easiest way to get help on my videos and any other Godot questions you have. I also have begun streaming on Thursdays. I had one last Thursday, and the day before that was a test stream. The streams give a preview on what the future videos will be on. So I did all this key and lock door stuff on a stream. I also added arrows, moblin. I improved the sword, whole bunch of stuff. It's been really fun meeting people through the streams, and I hope more of you can stop by. We're also very close to the stretch goal for text tutorials on Patreon. We are $44 out of the 50 as of August 27th. Big thanks to Leonard Meager, Godot Platypus, and Xfixium for becoming $10 gold tier patrons in the last week. I really appreciate that. I'm in the process of setting up a page for text tutorials, and I'll have one for the first episode soon, regardless of if we make it there by the time I finish it. But please think of pledging on Patreon if you're interested. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.